Hi there, you're watching Gardens and Graveyards. My name is Charisma, and today we are in the garden and it's time for our middle of the month garden tour. So it is September of 2022 and it's time to see what is in bloom. There are lots of perennials that have faded away for the season, but there are still some late blooming annuals and perennials that are looking beautiful. So let's get started. Okay, so even for late summer, I still feel like I've got some nice color going on here. We've got purple asters there, and we've got bubblegum, Proven Winners, Supertunia bubblegum blooming right here. This one struggled quite a bit, but I'm loving that it's still hanging on this late in the season. Of course, these purple asters are looking gorgeous, and the sun's going down, so the bees have gone to sleep for the night, but usually they are filled with pollinators. I'll try to post a video of it from a couple of days ago for you here. Backing up just a tad, the hostas are fading for the season, but they're still hanging on. It's maybe the latest I've seen them looking this good in our garden. I'm gonna just go backwards just a tiny bit. The primroses are starting to color up. And all right, let's keep going. We've got more roses in bloom here. I love this rose. I love how it's white and then red on the inside. So pretty. And then we've got red roses in bloom back there. We've got a new rose coming on. Got these beautiful, sweet, kind of a blush color. They're typically more of a white. They fade to that kind of, or they open up as kind of this blush color, and then they fade to a bright white. And then we've got those sweet baby pink roses back there. Don't they look so cute? Oh, they're so fun. The catmint is starting to finish its second flush of bloom, which is really fun. And we're starting to get some fall color. So this is a burning bush, and you can see a lot of its fall color is starting to deepen. Right, get out of the rose garden. The hydrangea is looking pretty good. It's not as covered in blooms as it has been in previous years, but it still has plenty there for sure. We've got a few dahlias blooming, not as big of a display as I've had in previous years. As you know, most of these were dug up and replanted. So I'm not sure. I've been watching a lot of other people on social media, and they are having really sporadic dahlia blooms this year as well. So anyway, we've got some coming on right there. We've got this poodle skirt. Isn't she so cute? That's so fun. And then I've got a Lady Liberty right here. Pretty. And we've got one coming up right there. And then, of course, we've got the dragonberry that has been performing its head off this year. Second year in the ground. Looks amazing. That one did not get dug up last year. We've got some Gerber daisies blooming over there. That bright pop of yellow. It's really fun to have something like that going on. And the Flowing River Japanese maple is getting its fall color. We've got some mums out here. I'm going to turn around. Look at this end of summer, bright, colorful display. Loving it. Mums, black-eyed Susans, dragonberry, dahlia. And I love how this dahlia plays off of this barberry back there. I'm going to show you this barberry because it's looking so pretty. These are the last of the rose campium that I have that need to be pulled out. All the rest of them have been deadheaded and gone for the season. Look at this barberry. Isn't that beautiful with that little splash on there? Ugh, I love it. And it's beginning to get its fall color too. If you could see that red orange deep inside there. Barberries have fabulous fall color. All right, let's turn around. Of course, we have this grove of Staghorn Sumax that I've been saying all summer long that I'm going to dig them up and move them. But just when I really decided this is it, I'm taking them out and I'm putting them in pots and I'm giving them away, their fall color started. And the husband and I were like, you know what, that's gonna be a pretty amazing display, so we're gonna leave them in for a few more weeks, let them show off, and then we'll dig them out. And it's actually gonna be easier to pull them out in the fall, less transplant shock, and the ground will be a little softer with all the rains and everything. So they get to stay in that spot just a little bit longer. You could see what they start doing. That bright gold coloration comes on, and bright red. The more sun it gets, the more red it is, and in more shade, it's bright gold. It also has these beautiful cones all throughout it. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty amazing. They start coloring up for fall on the bottom first, so you can see a lot of it underneath there, underneath the canopy. So she gets to stay just a little bit longer. I recently cut back the Russian sage. We've got a whole new flush of lavender here, which I was not expecting, but there she is. Although, I mean, these are all like new buds. It's kind of late in the season for that. All right, anyways, this is one of my favorite views right now. Just fantastic with the black-eyed Susans, the yellow mums, more yellow mums, and the euonymus back there. It's just so pretty. The color play is fantastic. Ooh, yay. All right, I'm gonna pop up on the porch really quick, show off this mum. This is one of my favorite mums, the red with the yellow center. Love that. And next to the kind of gold colored mum, it really shows off that yellow center. All right, we're gonna come up here and I'm gonna show you baskets. This is the Proven Winner Supertunia Jazzberry. It has this great dark throat in it. It's doing super well. It got cut back mid-season. I think this is Black Cherry Punch. Didn't quite keep up with the vigor, but I do love that combination. And then in these baskets, we have the Proven Winners Supertunia Black Cherry, Dusty Miller, and an Osteospermum. Isn't this just like the most amazing color combination? Whoa. Just love it. Look at that. Oh, I love these baskets this year so much. And then there's just a repeat in this one. And then in this one, we have the Proven Winners Magenta. I'll put the name up on the screen because I can't remember. Also with the punch in there. I wanted to see the difference in vigor between the magenta and the Jazzberry. Clearly a difference. But I will remind you that this magenta got dropped on its head not long after I planted it. So I'm pretty impressed with how well it did. It needed to be trimmed, and I was afraid to because it barely got going this summer. But it did get some trailing, so if it hadn't broken, I think it would have been a really beautiful display. Probably not as fabulous as the Jazzberry, but close, really close. And then another repeat of the same basket here. This is the back side. I'll show you the front side in a moment. Then we have this combination of angel wing mix. This angel wing mix has been blooming since June. It is just blooming. I do not deadhead it. I don't do anything with it. I just water it, fertilize it, and it's just in love with life. And then these cute little Celines mixed in with it. I mean, it is just the most fun, like, wildflower country look and feel. And then we have some Coleus here. It just started to get a little bit of height on it, and now the temperatures are already starting to go down. This is just a generic Coleus, but I do love the color for sure. Over here, of course, we've got a collection of cuttings. This is a pumpkin on a stick. I had no idea how big they got. I had no idea they had giant thorns on the bottom. Can you see it? Oh, on the bottom and on the top. So, as cute as the pumpkin on the sticks are in the grocery stores, kind of dangerous in the garden. So just be aware of that. All right, we're going to keep moving on down the garden. We've got another clump of asters that are not doing as well, and I think it's because there's so much strawberry in here. So next year, I will make sure that this bed has less strawberry underneath the asters, so that when they first start coming up, they have more sun. The cherry tree will lose its leaves, but at first it will have a little bit of fall color, which is going to be fun. If this does a full fall color with those, it's gonna be really amazing. All right, our Cleome is just about done, I guess. I've never grown this before, so I just keep getting, they just keep growing and blooming and growing and blooming and leaving these pods behind. And I'm waiting for the pods to turn brown so I could collect the seeds. We'll see what happens. The rose shrub, the shrub rose is loaded with these gorgeous hips. I mean, amazing. Look at all those. And it does get a fun, bright yellow fall color as well. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This is why I grow this rose. And of course, its sister right here. Just super fun. This one is loaded. All right, then we have the pineapple sage, which is like about four foot tall now. Hasn't brought on its flowers yet. Usually late September is when I start seeing those flowers. Not seeing them yet. It smells really good though. And then we've got a cardinal flower here, echinacea back there. Really fun. Not a whole lot more. This barberry is the one we planted earlier this year, and I wasn't sure it was going to make it. I fried it a couple times this spring. It's doing pretty good, and it's starting to get its fall color, which is cool. All right, we're going to go down into the lower garden now. The primroses haven't gotten their color yet, but they are looking a lot more lush, and they're getting ready for their winter season. Over here, this St. John's wort is loaded with its berries. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. It's just a little baby, and oh, there's morning glory on it. Well, anyway, it is so exciting to have this shrub in the garden for sure. And then the bunera is looking like it needs to be worked over a little bit. And then, of course, the wedding flowers have turned, and they've got these beautiful seed heads. But I let it fully go to seed. I didn't pick it this year because I want this whole area underneath the St. John's wort to be full of the wedding flowers. The fuchsia looks good. It's done blooming. I just took off its blooms, but it grew a lot this year. Of course, we've been in the medicine garden quite a few times. The only thing big going on right now is we've got some borage blooming. We've got leeks blooming, echinacea. We've got verbena blooming, the purple airy colors. Look at those baskets. They're so pretty. Even this late in the season. So awesome. And then down here we've got, of course, the fennel's still going, and we've got clematis blooming. Look at those. Aren't those beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love them. So pretty. What else have we got going on? I wanted to see if the snowberries have berries yet. I'm not seeing anything yet. I do see some, like they're maybe breaking open. The hostas are just about done, like I've said. Here we have the Proven Winners Mary Poppins Winterberry, and I saw dozens and dozens of flowers on it. So the flowers have dropped off, but there's little tiny formations of berries going to start. Hopefully we'll get a good display of that this year. The pots are looking okay. Those mirror plants grew a lot since spring. This is looking good still. We've got some hydrangeas blooming. This oak leaf hydrangea just has the one panicle bloom on it this year. It blooms on old wood, so this is the oldest piece that we have. We planted it last fall, and so next year we'll have a lot more blooms. But what this is really planted for is fall foliage. So the colors have started, and we'll see what it does pretty soon. I don't think there's much else going on here. That hydrangea is done blooming. We're back into the secret garden here. Of course, we're going to go back here and see our gunnera. Hasn't grown a whole lot in the last month, and it's getting really tattered by that birch tree up there. It loses little tiny limbs, and they pierce the leaves. It's like limbs, or twigs, and sometimes big branches fall, and they fall like this and pierce the branches. So it's getting a little tattered. But really fun display. I mean, look at this thing. It's so huge. Every year we're just amazed at how big it gets. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So fun. And then we have the peanut butter tree, which has been blooming for a little bit. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, and it smells so good. But I've been deadheading it because look how funky they look when they're done. I don't know how I'm gonna deadhead it when it's a full-size tree, but for now, I'm deadheading it. All right, the perennials are done. The fuchsias are done. The panicle hydrangeas are looking a little bit sad. These are the proven winners, Limelights. They just got planted a few weeks ago. They were discount plants to begin with. I'm going to come in here and mulch them and deadhead them and help them focus on their root growth. I'm hoping that one's not dead. I hardly see any green on it, so well, we'll see. We'll see what it does over winter. I'm going to step back, actually. All right, so we've got agastache there, and it is blooming like crazy. It's so fun. The structure is really fun. I like it. It's like airy and just sweet. And then we have the Himalayan Honeysuckle with all of its dangling flower calyxes, which I just love and adore. The echinacea is finally done blooming and looking wild as always. All right, we're gonna move on and go upstairs. So we have a salvia here, still hanging on for the season. Not bad. I could definitely feel a nip in the air, so the scabiosa is going to seed. But we have our cyclamen are starting to bloom. So you can see the white here and the purple over here. Fun, and those will bloom through the winter. And then we have the kaffir lilies blooming right here. More angel wing mix that's still hanging on. I did pull it out of there, and I pulled a purple one out of here, but that one's still looking okay. And over on this side, the raspberries have been trellised. The strawberries are still putting off a ton of berries. Up here, we've got beautiful dahlias, and I'll show you from the other side because the display is even more awesome. Let's see. Anything else going on in here? The Garria is pretty much done. Oh, we have more cyclamen blooming right there. You can see it. And come in here. The blueberries are starting to put on their fall color. Blueberries have fantastic fall color. Look at that. Really pretty. They're about to all go into that color and just be like a ball of fire. We've got indigo cherry tomatoes in here. Look at these. Aren't they so beautiful? They're so pretty. I love them. And they are completely loaded. So that's super fun. And then we've got some really dark black petunias that are looking good still. The canna is getting really big, but they didn't bloom this year. And turn around here and show you this. So we're in the theme garden, and it was going to be all black and white. Of course, I've been complaining all season of my calendula that I really just can't bear to get rid of. I just keep deadheading it and saving all the blooms because I really do like using calendula in salves and teas. So we have white zinnias We have black and white Nigelia. The purple poppies have gone to seed, but those seed heads are so beautiful, aren't they? So much fun. You can see the different heucheras that we have in here. Now that some of these things have been cleaned out, I cleaned out the celosia and some other things. We've got cosmos blooming. We have a purple salvia, cosmos, phlox. And then we have a little patch of hollyhocks that won't bloom this year, but they did come up. They have their leaves, which tells me that next year we're going to have a great hollyhock display in here. More kaffir lilies, off color scheme. I pulled them all out and they came back anyway. More of the black petunias, looking good. The fennel attracts so many bees. I haven't had the heart to cut it down, even though it's blocking my view of all these beautiful dahlias. These dahlias were from the front yard that I knew were fitting for my black and white garden. The envy is a little bit red, but next year it's going to be all red, white, dark purple, and black. So here's an Ivanetti. It has this like pom-pom style, super fun. This is a Lady Liberty, and it has these great dark orange pollen showing through. And then this is the Envy. And I just love how all of these are different textures. These ones kind of laid down. Those ones are nice and fluffy. Look at these ones. They are huge. Just go over there. Look at that bumblebee sleeping in it. I'll go over there and show you how big those are in a second. Let's see. What else? And then we've got Celine down here. Really fun. You could hear it. You hear those seeds rattling around in there. So I have to show you how big this dahlia is. Look at this. That is intense. And I love how fine it looks in the back. Isn't that beautiful? Even the backside of this dahlia is absolutely gorgeous. Okay. We still have some snowdrift going here. We have snowdrift going over there. The Supertunias are doing so good, and even the regular petunias are doing so good this year. Look at these honey Supertunias. We really love this. This is such a fun plant. Look at it. It has all these different colors. I know I've showed this before, but it's just so fun to have one plant that has all these different color combinations on it. Of course, we've got the Celine. It's going crazy. Still waiting for this David Austin rose to open up. It's just kind of been sitting there for a long time. We've got fuchsias going gangbusters. This is the fuchsia that I dug up and put downstairs, and then these are clearly pieces that I missed. So it was a huge display, and now it's got kind of like 2 plants in it. It looks a little wonky, but how can I resist leaving it there? Look at all those blooms. So there's the theme garden. There's the butterfly garden. We've been cutting it back as it fades and fades and fades. But of course we have the autumn joy in all its glory right now, just looking beautiful with those blooms, late season, pop of color. Supertunia snowdrift right there, and then we've got some clematis blooming. The chocolate ajuga is looking really good this year. It's getting a great mat on it, and it's flowering some more, so hopefully it'll just reseed itself some more and do good. Here is some more of that pumpkin on a stick. This one obviously is bigger. It's got a bigger pot. It actually has some blossoms going on here, so we'll see if we actually get those little fruits. Here's a different kind of clematis than from the front side, and it has like this fun little stripe on it. I like it. More honey supertunias. That basket's kind of fading. There's some cannas that I missed. I'm going to show you this. Look at those. Aren't those beautiful? This is the Himalayan honeysuckle from upstairs. And you could see the berry that it produces. Oh, they're so pretty. All right, so what else do I have? And then up here, we've got our red and white geraniums still going strong. We planted these right around Memorial Day. It's 2 weeks after Labor Day. She's still going. They were in bloom Memorial Day. Okay. Then the last thing we're going to talk about are the porch plants. So, you know, this is my favorite porch plant this year. It's still looking great. I did cut back the kale. It was just a monster and you couldn't really see anything. They were like standing out here. But since I did that, the red carnations have bloomed more. The snapdragons are blooming. This one over here looks a little bit more equal now that kale is not in that one over there. And we're about to do a little fun project with this guy. Isn't she so cute? I'll talk a little bit more about that in a future video. Stay tuned. Last thing I'll point out is this rosemary, this trailing rosemary is blooming already. Usually they bloom like December, January. This one's already blooming. It's so fun. And the Barcopa is all in bloom, of course. Cute. All right, so that sums it up for the September middle of the month tour. And it was really fun to take a walk in the garden with you today. Thanks for hanging out with me and keep celebrating life. We will see you in the next video. Bye.